Let us begin with Surely the Presence.
Surely. Where's Shirley?
Okay, it's time to swing wide the doors. Maybe.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors, we'll let in the light. Bring in the dawn of humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, and time is right. Swing wide the doors, we'll let in the light. Bring in the dawn of humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand what I'm here for, and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about passions, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. Lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. Learn to keep it inside. Now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. Lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn of humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Thank you, Barbara and Rachel. We're having a typical unity morning here of everybody learning everything on the spot. So we're doing the best we can. So Barbara, Whitney, is our music director. She chose some beautiful songs for today. Rachel, tried and true, has been singing with us for, I don't know, 20 years now or something. Oh, sorry. No, but she started when she was 2. If you haven't already, please silence your phones. We don't want any interruptions. And I want to welcome all new listeners and all new members that have walked in today. What a beautiful place this is. What a sacred place. It's a place that's safe, that welcomes you with love and open hearts. Not just the songs, but the people here. We're so happy if you're online with us. We can feel your presence. We need your presence. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to do the daily word, which most Unity people are quite familiar with. And today's daily word is grace. I walk in grace and peace today. I give thanks for the activity of God in my life that appears as grace. This divine gift manifests as the beauty of the world and the people in it, and as the comforting presence of God within and around me each day. I do not have to do anything to earn grace because it does not result from my attitude or actions. It flows from the infinite love of God within every person and surrounding every circumstance. It is the indwelling presence that sustains me in challenging times and lifts me in good times. I accept grace with gratitude when I've stumbled along life's path and received unexpected blessings. This boundless love fills my heart with bliss and peace. I live in the presence of infinite love, believing each unfolding event in my life is leading me to my highest good, you to your highest good. And from 2 Corinthians 12:9, my grace is sufficient for you. And again, today we're going to think, I walk in grace and peace today. We have a mission statement, which we have vowed this year to put into action in every way, in every day, so that we're not just saying the words. So our unity principle number 5, through thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth we know. Note, it's not enough to know. We must do the work. Our mission statement, you can say along with us. It's on the screen, I believe. We are a loving, nurturing community dedicated to being a positive path to spiritual living, to awaken oneness with God within us all. So that is our mission. So we have some activities going on. We always do. The first Monday of the month meditation this month in November will be November 6th. That's done by Charlie Wishard, our Unity trained chaplain. And it is on Facebook Live only at 7 p.m. So we broadcast to YouTube and YouTube channel, which you know, because you probably got here by that, and on Facebook Live. So just go, if you have trouble finding us, all you have to do is go to our main page on unityoftheseacoast.org, and the little buttons are right there. Just Sunday morning, go on, hit YouTube, Facebook, whichever you prefer, and it will bring you to us. Our talks are archived, so once you're on that page, you can look around and find other services that we've done and other activities that we've done. Our donate button is there also, and like everyone and everything to sustain this practice, this mission, we would appreciate it if you feel inspired today to hit that donate button, and it will walk you through step by step on what to do. If you're not an electronic person and you'd rather do a check, we still accept them. And our mailing address is Unity of the Seacoast, McConnell Center, Suite 246, 61 Locust Street, Dover, New Hampshire, 03820. And if you want to see what other events are going on, just go to our meetup group. Unity of Seacoast meetup group, and it'll show you all the upcoming events that are coming. We have game night the third Friday of each month, starting at 6 p.m. The next one will be November 17th. It's a time to get together and just socialize, really, I guess, and get to know each other a little bit better on a different level. We have plenty of games here, or if you have a particular card game or game you like to do, just bring it and we will join you. Anyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. Bring a friend, bring a family member. Just come. We're also offering a Course in Miracles meeting here. It's here in this building on Thursdays at 10 in the morning. Everyone is welcome. And we look forward to meeting anyone who wants to participate. If you feel called, please come. Just check it out. See what it's like. Some people come and don't come back. A lot of people come and never go away. I'd like to have Cynthia say a few words. She and I are co-facilitating this group. Cynthia, want to talk about A Course in Miracles a little bit? Thank you.
This is the element of surprise. Surprise. Course in Miracles is a very important training course for me. It's so personal to me. Every morning I start my day with it. And I invite anybody who would like to come to our group. We have a great time. Besides garnering a few ideas to help us walk our lives. You know, everybody needs a little help. I'm going to break it with a little help from my friends. but that's what A Course in Miracles is for me, and we'd love to offer it to anybody who feels called. It's personal. It's a course. If you feel called, please come. We'll be there.
We will. If you need more information, you can call Cynthia. She bravely has offered her phone number. It's 207-216-3438. That's how you say numbers to automated systems so they understand you. Next week, Tom's topic is our greatest gift, a look at Genesis and the creation story. So before I go on, I want you to know Tom is here with us. He's watching from home and directing technology. Everybody say hello, Tom. Hello, Tom. We love you. We'll see you next week. And we have a wonderful guest speaker today. Okay. And the next part is, and I think anyone who goes to Unity is very familiar with this, and that's our namaste. It's a Sanskrit word. And to me, it means the Christ in me sees the Christ in you. What is the Christ? The Christ is a teacher. It's not a person. The teacher in me sees a teacher in you. My best self sees the best self in you. I see the light. So we put our hands together in prayer position, and we claim loudly and proudly, Namaste. If you're at home, if you have someone there, please namaste with them. When I'm home alone, I namaste my cat. I think she gets it. And so now we're going to do another song. I believe I can fly.
Used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then then I can do it. If I believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. See, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes silence can be so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve. First I know it starts inside of me. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly.
This is a good thing. This is a good time. I get to introduce my dear friend, my mentor, someone that I see as such a gentle, kind, open-hearted leader. I want to welcome our speaker today, our guest, Amy Joslin.
Am I on now? Yes. Woohoo! They can hear me in the parking lot. Awesome. So I was excited when Tracy texted me. I'm like, sure, I'd be honored and it would be my joy because I love coming here. You guys are such a welcoming, heart-centered community that you can't help but feel that as soon as you walk through the doors. You know, you sing surely the presence of the Lord, and you guys are that presence and that power, and it's palpable. So it's my joy to be here. See if I can I raise this a little? Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I think it's good. It's probably good with my eyesight and all that. So my talk title today, am I echoey to people or is that just me? Okay, good. So my talk title today is what are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? And I've heard often within the teachings of unity and New Thought movement that abundance is our birthright. And I believe this to be true. I believe that we are born worthy, that our worth is never up for negation, that we don't have to prove it, we don't have to beg or convince anyone but ourselves of this truth. And I'm willing, as I look around the room, I'm willing to bet that the most of you are in agreement with that, if you've been coming to Unity for a while. Yes. So I want to pose a question. So, and this is for myself included. What are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? And I'm thinking things like that there is not enough, not enough time, not enough money, opportunities. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too fat. I'm too thin. I don't have fill in the blank. And I ask this not as a reprimand. I'm not pointing my fingers at anybody, but with great love and humility, because I'm a fellow journey on this path here with you. And the reason I'm asking the question, what are you telling yourself, is that I had a revelation recently that reminded me of this profound truth, and here it is. If I am telling myself that I am limited in any way, I am not telling myself the truth. If I am telling myself that I am limited in any way, I am not telling myself the truth. And I came to this revelation amid a crisis, as I refer to them as an O shift moment. So I've been experiencing some challenges lately. My rent went up, my car insurance more than doubled. And just when I felt like I had a handle on things and I had a plan in place, I was driving home from my sister's house where I was pet sitting for her menagerie of animals on a Sunday evening, and my car broke down. It was chug, 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 And at first I thought maybe I put it in the wrong gear. And then every light imaginable on my dashboard appeared. And I managed to drive to the garage where I have my car worked on and leave it there. And then proceed up the two hills home. And, I was worried about, how am I going to get back and forth to work? I had all kinds of commitments at the time. I was in the middle of teaching a 12 powers class. I'm on a lot of committees. So I had that going, and I'm watching this menagerie of animals, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get to work? How am I going to get back and forth? And then I found out how much it was going to cost to fix my car. And it was a lot of money for me. And I was really, really stressed, like really, really stressed. And I thought to myself, you need to calm yourself down. You need to calm yourself down. And so I poured myself a big glass of water, and I sat down where I meditate, and I sipped the water slowly, and I forced myself to breathe deep. Because a lot of times when we have stuff going on, we tend to breathe shallowly. At least I know I do. So it was a reminder for myself to breathe deeply and to sit. And at first the tears came that, that I've been trying to hold on, trying to be brave and strong. And the tears came. And then the divine idea came on how I could pay for my car repairs. And here's the thing. That divine idea was there all along. I just had to still myself long enough to be able to see it and to hear it. And that's when I really had the revelation that, because like I said, it was there. I had the revelation that if I am ever telling myself that I'm limited in any way, I'm not telling myself the truth. And I know that can seem, some of you may be disagreeing with me. Like in your head, you get that, yeah, that's true, except for this. Anyone have that going on? That yeah, but I have always had a yeah, but. Now, if you find yourself arguing with me in your head, I just invite you to breathe and hear me out. Because I realize that not everything's black and white, that there are 1,000 shades of gray in between. So what are you telling yourself? Why? So today I'll talk about, what I mean by that, why I think it's something awesome for us, worthwhile for us to ponder, and maybe some tools on how we can do that. That fifth unity principle, like how do we put this in place? How do we practice it? I think it's really important for us to pay attention to what we're telling ourselves daily. And especially so when we find ourselves in a situation where we feel limited. And it may not be about money. It could be about health. It could be about time. It could be about relationships. It could be about opportunities. It could be about worthiness. One of my favorite stories in the Bible, and what I love about unity is that we look at the Bible both metaphysically and myadically. Myadically is like, how is this story the story of my life? Well, how can I relate to this story? So I want to tell the story of Elisha and the widow's oil, which is found in Kings. Okay, so a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets cried out to Elisha, saying, "Your servant, my husband is dead, and you know that your servant feared the Lord, and the creditors are coming to take my 2 sons to be his slaves." And so Elisha said to her, "What shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in your house?" And she said, "Your maiden servant has nothing in the house but a jar of oil." Then he said, "Go borrow vessels from everywhere, from all your neighbors, empty vessels, and do not gather just a few. And when you have those vessels, I want you to come in, and you shall shut the door behind you, and you and your sons then pour the oil into the vessels and set aside the full ones." So she went from him, and she shut the door behind her and her sons, and they brought the vessels to her, and she poured it out. Now it came to pass, one of my favorite lines in the Bible is, "and it came to pass." But it came to pass that when the vessels were full, she said to her son, "Bring me another vessel." And he said to her, "There is not another vessel." And so the oil ceased. And then she came and told the man of God, and he said, "Go sell the oil and pay your debt, and you and your sons go live on the rest." That must have been some oil, right? So now you're going to hear a little bit of gospel according to Amy, right? Because we interpret things. So I see this, So this woman had lost her husband, and now she could lose her sons. And notice that Elisha does not lecture her that she needs to align, like she needs to raise her vibe or she needs to align. He pivots her attention to what she does have. All she could see in that moment of crisis and despair was that one jar of oil, her limitations. Can anyone relate to that? But Elisha knew better. She had an abundance of neighbors willing to help her by giving her their empty vessels. We often see the miracle in that story as that overflowing oil, but I see the miracle in the story as the neighbors who showed up for her with an abundance of empty vessels to support her and her sons. Can you imagine yourself, you're pouring that oil and it just keeps flowing and it just keeps flowing and it just keeps flowing? We so often in that midst of crisis or despair think that we're in it alone. In that situation, she found out that she wasn't alone. There is a young musician. His name is Logan Bruce, and he's coming up, and I think he just celebrated his 7 years of sobriety. And he tells the story. He says, "One day I went to the pawn shop with my guitar, and I sat in the parking lot for what seemed like hours. I was withdrawing from heroin, so I was extremely sick. And as I sat there debating whether or not I wanted to sell my guitar, I knew that if I sold my guitar, that I would end up dying. I thought back to all the people I had met over the years who told me that my story, my voice, and music helped them, but that for whatever reason, I could never believe them. Right before I went in the pawn shop, I had this thought: what's more likely? Have hundreds of people really been lying to you and saying that you're a good singer and that your music can change the world? Or is it more likely that you've been lying to yourself? So I kept the guitar and I went back home. And the next day, I checked myself into rehab to try getting sober one last time. What are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? So why? I think judging by appearance is part of the human experience, as is moments of struggle. Jesus is recorded as stating in the Gospel of John that in the world you shall have trials and tribulations, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. He wasn't saying that once you reach a certain state, you never have anything come your way. He's saying that you have a power within you that is bigger than any trial or tribulation. Myrtle Fillmore spent 2 years changing her story of what she was telling herself. And she stated it this way: we have to cease worrying and being anxious and thinking and speaking of the past and apparent lack and idleness. We have to concentrate all our attention upon the truth of God and the truth of our own being. And the results will take care of themselves once we've started our foundation of truth. In the Gospel of John 8:32, you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So if we're made in the image and the likeness of God, the source spirit, and we believe that God is abundance, I mean, how can you not at this time of year in the fall, and the leaves and the trees are gorgeous, right? And now they're starting to fall all over the place, and we're seeing the abundance of them on the sidewalks and the driveway and the lawn. Right? That we live in an abundant universe, and if God is abundance, then we are abundance too. Did you know that scientists have been estimating the number of cells in the average human body? That we have over 30 trillion cells, and that there are over 200 different kinds of cells in the body. Like red blood cells, white blood cells, skin cells, nerve cells, fat cells, all kinds of cells. Did you know that there are over 400,000 types of flowers? Did you know that there's like 8.7 million different types of species? Did you know that there are 687 different types of pizza? And that over 30 billion pizzas are eaten worldwide every year? That there are 50 ways to leave your lover. Or as the song goes from Rent, there are 525,600 minutes in a year, right? So we're saturated, and we live in a world that is abundant and without limits, right? So if you're telling yourself, so what are you telling yourself? And if you're telling yourself that you're limited in any way, you're not telling yourself the truth. And we just need to pivot that in those moments. So how do we do this, right? We start with paying attention to what we're telling ourselves. Are we comparing ourselves to others? Are we telling ourselves self-deprecating thoughts? Are we stuck in the past? Have we forgiven ourselves for any mistakes that we've made? Do we ask ourselves that what we're telling ourselves is true? Do we challenge our assumptions? It is Socrates that said that an unexamined life is not worth living. We can breathe and we can sit in the silence, calm ourselves down. Taylor Swift said that she had to deconstruct her entire belief system for her own personal sanity. And now she speaks out about issues, she was afraid to speak out about issues that meant something to her for a fear of losing approval. And now she speaks out about those things. And if you've heard of the Eras, who hasn't heard of the Eras Tour? I mean, that young woman is prospering every town that she goes to significantly. But she needed to ask herself what she was telling herself. Was it really true that she couldn't speak her truth and still be respected and valued and prosperous? We can pray without ceasing and be consistent. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, stated it this way. He said, "No particular affirmation will raise you from poverty to affluence, yet all will lead you to the consciousness that fulfills the law." So getting into a regular prayer practice, calling silent unity, connecting with your chaplain here, someone that can see the truth in you when you can't for yourself. And the wonderful thing about praying with others is that I know that for myself, when I pray for someone else, I get lifted up too. And my circumstances and situation could be entirely different. But what I say for you, somehow it always works for me too. So when you go to a chaplain for prayer, you're blessing them as much as you're blessing yourself. Golden Key it. Are you all familiar with the Golden Key? I'm sure you have a copy back there somewhere, but the Golden Key is awesome because what the Golden Key asks you to do, it's asking you to pivot, just like Alicia did with the woman with the jars of oil. Every time you think of your problem, you change your focus back onto what you know about God. And then when the yummy, 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 I have like 1,000 monkeys, but I've been working on them. And when the yummy, 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 I bring my attention back to what I know about God. God is love. God is intelligence. God is beauty. God is life. God is order. God is pure potentiality. God is infinite possibility. God is inexhaustible. When I do that, I can feel everywhere present. Means it's present right here, right now. And I breathe that in. You can ask for help. You can ask for help. People love to help. And we're meant to be connected. Like I just mentioned with prayer, asking for help. Your asking for help might be someone else's answered prayer. Use your power of understanding like a verb. What don't you know? What don't you know? Google it. Use the tools that we have available. Ask for help. Ask what you don't know. Be mindful of the information that you're allowing into your subconscious. Like really pay attention. Really pay attention to what you're feeding your subconscious mind. And really watch what you're feeding, anything that feels like a limitation. And sometimes you just have to, bless people and thank them for sharing. If they want to keep you in a place of limitation, you just bless them, you namaste them, you thank them for sharing, and you choose something else. I'm going to choose to look at it a little differently right now. Be the change you want to be in the world. My hope is that when you find yourself in a place of limitation, that you will ask yourself, well, what am I telling myself? And my hope is that you will remember that you are a child of the universe, worthy of love, worthy of wholeness, worthy of joy, worthy of abundance, worthy of happiness and fulfillment. So namaste. And now we're going to have another song.
This is our meditation song. I know this rose will open, and then we'll hear a meditation from Amy.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open.
So I'm going to invite you all to just get comfortable in your chair. I always like to wiggle my toes, and sometimes I'll even rub my legs or my arms just to ground myself in the moment. And maybe even put your hands over your heart. Invoking the power of love that is who you are. And imagine that power of love just emanating from your heart space so that it radiates from you all around the room. And I invite you, as I read this beautiful poem, it is a poem called I Am Enough. And it's a poem of worthiness by Jennifer Healy, to just take in these words and maybe repeat them silently to yourself as you hear them. There is a wholeness that is mine, already mine. It is already ours. I am not just the seed. I am the rain that waters the flower. It's a reality that's already there, that I am enough. I take on faith that wholeness is already mine. that I need do nothing to deserve, that my whole worthiness is based only on my being. I am wise enough to let go, and I am strong enough to remember the truth of who I really am. I can encounter the world in such a way that I remember who I am. I am the rest inside the unrest. I am the depth of the sky and the light piercing the sea. I am the crest of the wave. All that I need to be, I am. There is no problem to solve in this moment. There is no plan to make. No failure to be feared. No other place to be. This moment is enough. This place is enough. This imperfection is enough. I am patient enough for my life to unfold in divine timing. I feel the fullness of my life in this moment. I feel the richness of my life in this space. I am loved beyond thought, and I have nothing to prove. There is no one to impress. I receive the message that being is enough. I am wise enough to see the magic through a child's eyes. I am resilient enough to see past the pain. I am kind enough to realize that my worth has been with me this whole time. Beyond the shadows that I have created, the message remains that I am the same. I have always been enough simply by being here, simply by being. It only takes a moment, and I remember this again. I am enough. Allow this truth to penetrate in every cell and organ of your being. Allow it to surround you. Give thanks for this moment in time, for this opportunity to remember the truth of who you are. And when you're ready, you can begin to come. Actually, open your hands from your heart if you've been holding it over your heart. And let your hands up and come back into this present moment right here and right now. So it is. You're welcome.
Thank you, Amy. That was beautiful. We are enough. So usually Tom does the prayer for others. I would like to do that today, if it's okay with everyone. In this world of division, let us pray. We know that we are loved unconditionally. We know that our purpose here is to express that love through us to everyone we encounter. There are no enemies. There is no division. We are one. Let our love be the healing that the world needs. Express it daily, constantly. As you pray unceasingly, put forth this love of God as well. For we, the light workers, we that are connected to our higher being, we are able to bring peace to this circumstance. And so it is, amen. Okay, and now, that wasn't enough. We're going to do our prayer for tithes and affirmations. Another way to express our love is to affirm our prosperity and to bless our tithes. And so, yes. So Charlie, our chaplain, he's my husband. I could not wait until he was became a chaplain so I could say Charlie Chaplain. I don't want much, right?
Still small voice, sacred vibration, animals speak, wave on the ocean, kiss from your lips, touch of your hand, sunset in winter, mist on the land, one and the same, one and the same, everything God is, one and the same, inside or outside, ascension or bliss, presence or oneness, wisdom or wish, a still small voice, sacred vibration, animals speak, wave on the ocean, one and the same, one and the same, when everything God is, one and the same, one and the same, one and the same, when everything God is, one and the same.
Thank you for that blessing, Barbara. She is a blessing. So it should be up on the screen and you can join us, please. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, Charlie. Let us do our prayer of protection together. Are we ready? The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well. And we are richly blessed. And so it is. Amen. Now we'd like to join hands and do the song, Let There Be Peace on Earth.